Yeah. We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine mato. Try that. We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine mato. We'll come back to that just a little bit.
Shabbat Shalom. I think this is on. It is on.
Yeah.
There we go. Good evening and welcome. We are especially honored and pleased and excited about having Stephen Chapman here tonight to help lead us in worship, bringing music to our worship, to have his parents, his aunt and uncle here as well, to celebrate and to be with us. Let's take a moment, both in the digital sanctuary and here in the physical sanctuary, to wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. If you don't know the people around you, please introduce yourself to them. We have the opportunity this evening not only to welcome Shabbat together, we have the opportunity to celebrate a milestone birthday, Rob Dan. We have the opportunity to celebrate the community that we are. We have the opportunity to give strength and support to one another. Some are experiencing illness, some have loved ones experiencing illness, some have experienced loss, recent and also in years past. And so we gather as community to support, to strengthen, and to celebrate. And we continue with the official welcome of Shabbat with the kindling of the Sabbath candles and the Kiddush, the blessing over the Sabbath wine. And I'd like to invite our birthday boy and his bride to come forward, Rob and Erica, to lead us. You can find the blessings on page 2 and on page 5 in your Siddur. Amen.
Amen.
L'chaim. Thank you. Rob, if you'll just come over here. Erica, stay with us. What a privilege it is to offer a special blessing in honor of your birth, and to just share. You know that 70 is a very significant number. In lots of ways, not the least of which is that we have reflected in the Bible that 70 is the span of our lives, right? But if by strength, 80. And we would continue to add to that number. But the idea being that 70 is almost, it's an opportunity to do a bit of a reset, right? Not to ignore everything that has brought you to this moment, but to be able to reflect and to see what new adventures lie ahead, what new blessings are possible to build on the strength that you have achieved over these 70 years of being on this planet and being together with your bride, not for all those 70 years, but for many of them, and for the better part of these last number of years, yes? But I was thinking about how you've chosen to live your life, going into veterinary medicine and understanding that caring for God's creatures is holy work, and that the compassion and kindness that you showed to your patients is the same wonderful warmth and kindness and generosity that you use for your human interactions as well. And as a community, we have benefited tremendously from your warmth, from your care, from your concern that you share so generously with all of us who are privileged to be a part of your circle of life. Our hope and our prayer for you, Rob, in this moment is that this year will be a year of great joy and blessing and great, great love, but just a taste of the wonderful years that are yet to come. May we be privileged to celebrate them together. And to this, let us all say, Amen. Happy birthday. And these are moments that we call Shechianu moments. When we're so filled with gratitude that our tradition gives us the words of Shechianu to express our gratitude to God for being able to celebrate this sacred moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
And we both have March birthdays.
I have a March birthday too.
It is not muted. I don't think it's muted. Isaac, am I muted? No, okay, all right, good, good. It's just not coming through as...
Great, I'm deaf.
Okay. So because this is the first Friday of the month, thank you, Rabbi Heaps, for reminding me, we also have the opportunity, so Rob, I'm going to ask you to come back forward again, because you are a March birthday. Yes? Sure. Yes. So everybody else who has a March birthday, come join us.
I'm already here, so that's good.
This is good. Okay, all right. In high school, I had to write a computer program in Fortran that was, what was this, the smallest number of people in a room that would have two people with the exact same birthday. And the number was remarkably small. So I see in here there are more March birthdays, but that's okay. Even if you're not coming up, the blessing will still count. Here we go.
Should we bless each other?
We could bless each other. It's a reciprocal blessing.
There you go. Just goes round and round.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our mothers and our fathers, we thank you for our lives and for all that makes them good. We thank you especially for this opportunity to celebrate with these, all of us, your children, as we enter into a new year of life. May it be a year in which we find ourselves using the gifts that you have bestowed upon each of us to bring blessing, joy, health, and healing into our world. May this be a year of tremendous achievement, success, blessing, and goodness, but just a taste of the wonderful years that are yet to come. May we be privileged to celebrate them together, and to this we say, Amen.
Happy birthday.
Sure, yeah.
Being able to celebrate moments like this makes us find that blessing that we find really when we gather together. We say, Hine matov u'manayim, how beautiful it is that we are able to gather, how beautiful it is that we are able to find blessing in each other. How beautiful it is that you're able to see the lyrics on your screen.
Yeah. Oh, we're skipped ahead.
Or go backwards to see the lyrics on our screen. Excellent.
We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine matov. Behold how good and pleasant it is that we are here, hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, keeping close so we hold dear. We are brothers, we are sisters, we are all that we've got. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine matov. Behold how good and pleasant it is when we seek peace, when we open up our table so all the world can take a seat. We are stronger when united, one people under one God. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine matov. We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine matov.
As you can tell,
We'll save the rest for the
Great.
end of the service.
like, it's so great that you have so many verses that we
Right,
get to
we
do
can just
more and
build it
more
up,
and just
build
build
it
it
up,
and build
yeah.
it. As you can tell, we are brought together by beautiful music, by words of wisdom, by our tradition that calls us to see the beauty in this moment, the beauty that Shabbat brings with it, and the beauty that comes in having a moment to take a deep breath. And every moment that we have like that, we call beloved. And we call to her, we say, come, my beloved, come, bring that beauty with you. Bring that beauty into this space. Bring that beauty into this moment. Lecha dodi, come, my beloved, page 20 or page 138.
Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתחילה לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובשולה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
We turn to page 27 and read in English together. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day today be as the one before, lest routine set my ways. With every prayer we learn, we're called to say more prayers. We're called to find the prayer within ourselves. We call each other to prayer with the words of Baruch Hu, page 28 or 146. Please rise as you are able.
So one of the communities that I work with, where our family belongs, is Mishkan, Chicago, in the city. I live in the city. My family just came in, of course, right as we were welcoming the Shabbat bride. My bride came to Shabbat services. How fitting. And our minchag is to, always chant the classic Shema that has become known as traditional, written by Sulzer, and to give each word its own breath, its own attention, its own energy. And part of this is, as Rabbi was saying before about breathing, right? We need to be able to breathe out the rest of the week that preceded and breathe in Shabbat, but also a chance to breathe together as a community, echad, right? The whole point of Shema being about unity and oneness, and to experience that together as one community. So I invite you to cover your eyes, close your eyes, and it can feel a little uncomfortable, just like, when are we going to move to the next word? But just breathe it in, embrace it, and we'll sing and feel that oneness together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta b'ham v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha v'derech u'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam lehot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 41, we read together. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children in the generations to come. The song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Lai 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 la lai la lai lai la lai 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 la lai la lai la lai la lai la lai 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 la lai lai la lai la lai Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot Nora tehilot sefeleh Malchutecha ra'u v'necha Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Ze elianu ve'amru So I wanted to share a prayer and a melody that's very, very important in my family. And this is to the prayer Hashkivenu, which you can find on page 42. And we sing this as our bedtime song, as part of our bedtime ritual in our house. And it's kind of fitting because it's about getting close to my kids' bedtime when I need to be singing this, but they're here, and I'm glad you're here. Most of the time, when I lead this song with a community, they're not here, they're, going to bed. So I get to sing this. We'll do it probably twice today then, which is great. That's a chance, this is a prayer of protection, of Sukkot Shalom. We're asking to be lied down in peace and raised up in life, and to feel that Sukkot Shalom. So this is a chance for us to think about maybe somebody who needs that protection. We have our prayers of healing, and who needs that healing, but who needs to feel safe? Who needs to feel protected? We think certainly about what's happening in Israel and the people in Israel who need protection, the people in Gaza who desperately want protection, and we think about, we offer this blessing of peace and protection, both personal and to the world. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamideinu Shomreinu L'Chaim Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shalomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shalomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamideinu Shomreinu L'Chaim Ufros aleinu Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shalomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shalomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'Hamideinu Shomreinu L'Chaim
What better way to find that Shabbat within all of us, to find our little glimpse of that Sukkot Shalom, than to have it spread over us in music, in peace, in that deep breath. What better day to remember Shabbat, not just when we welcome Shabbat, but on the Shabbats where we are commanded to celebrate Shabbat, to remember it and protect it just as much as Shabbat protects us. We have the privilege to protect our rest, to protect our day of re-souling, and to find our souls within us again. For some of us, finding that soul is a moment of calm. For some of us, finding our soul is a moment of excitement. For some of us, finding our soul is a moment of centering. And for some, finding our soul is a moment of finding a connection outside of ourselves. Wherever Shabbat leads you, we say, Vishamru, care for it, protect it, have it protect you as well. Page 44 or 162 at the top.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Beshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Beshamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asot et hashabat le'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
So as we move into this core portion of our service, the Amidah, I wanted to bring not something of mine, but something new. That somebody I know wrote, somebody that I work with. Somebody else who I work with, came here a few months ago, Rick Recht. I work with Rick during the day as the Director of Operations for Judaism Alive, which is a nonprofit that does a lot of, I would mostly say youth engagement through music stuff. So we run Jewish Rock Radio, J-Kids Radio, if any of those things are familiar. Song Leader Boot Camp is a conference that happened over President's Day weekend, which I'm still recovering from, and all of these things. It's also about spotlighting and lifting up the next generation, finding and encouraging new generations of Jewish leaders. Our Jewish communities are very much in need of Jewish leadership. We say it's a crisis as far as funding goes, but in some ways it really is. And so to be able to uplift our rising leaders is just so important. And so this melody for Adonai Svatai comes from Lisa Friedman. And Lisa is a first-year rabbinical student at HUC. She is in Los Angeles now. And she just wrote this beautiful Adonai Svatai that she shared at Song Leader Boot Camp. I just wanted to bring that in the spirit of some of the other work I do and in the spirit of the next generation.
Page 46, please rise as you are able.
Adonai Svatai tiftach, ufi agit tehilatecha. 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 Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid Tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Ata Rav L'Hoshia Mashiva Ruach Umorid Agashem Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umkayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Mi chamocha ba'al givurot umi domelach melech memit mechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata l'chachayot hakol Baruch ata Adonai mechayeh hakol. We take these next few moments to pray the prayers not necessarily on the pages of our prayer book, but the prayers that are written on the pages of our hearts and our lives in this moment of silent reflection. Please be seated.
Whatever the prayers are of your heart this Shabbat, may you find what it is you need, what it is you seek.
May you find rest, rest, rest. May you find rest, rest, rest. May you find rest, rest, rest on this Shabbat. May you find peace, peace, peace. May you find peace, peace, peace. May you find peace, peace, peace on this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Umevorach. May you find love, love. May you find love, love, love. May you find love, love, love. On this Shabbat, may you find strength. May you find strength, strength, strength. May you find strength, strength, strength. May you find strength, strength, strength. On this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Umevorach. May you find hope, hope, hope. May you find hope, hope, hope. May you find hope, hope, hope. On this Shabbat. May you be blessed. May you be blessed, blessed, blessed. May you be blessed, blessed, blessed. May you be blessed, blessed, blessed. On this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Umevorach.
With the spirit of hope and peace and blessing, we turn our thoughts to friends and family members, members of our community who are struggling with illness, illness of body, illness of spirit. It may even be we ourselves who are in need of such healing. For those participating in our digital sanctuary, we invite you to share the names of the people that you are especially thinking of in this moment of prayer for healing. And for those present in our physical sanctuary, I invite you to rise and share the names of the people that you are thinking of, especially in this moment. Francie. Larry. As a congregational family, we are also thinking of Lori Bacalar, Irene Barkin, Alan Terry Burke, Dee Bittman, Norman Boyer, Sarara Corva, Daniela Davis, Arlene Drucker, Lori Clapman, Lori Kaplan, Jim Clapman, Asher Levin, Mark Pierce, Ronald Rubin, Jackie Schisto, Arthur Sirk, Jocelyn Snower, Patricia Weinfuss, Mark Weiss, Marilee Wicks, Beth Weiner, and George Wittenberg. You may find the words to Misha Berach on page 253. Sheberach Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu source of strength, who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Ishevera imotenu mikor habracha yavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. There is tremendous mythology that arises around the origin of songs. Some think, as Stephen pointed out, that the Shema that we sing is actually a Sinai melody, that Moses himself was taught this melody by God millennia ago, and it was passed on faithfully from one generation to the next, when in reality, Sulzer wrote that particular melody in the 19th century. And so we have this mythology that develops and takes hold around the melodies that, oh, this is the traditional melody, this is the correct melody, this is the only melody, this is the true way to present this particular prayer. And this came to mind as I was thinking about this week's Torah portion and the connection that it has to one such melody. The melody is actually a melody that was first identified as a gospel spiritual. And with that, it comes from a particular place and time. We actually sang it. Dr. Litsky brought it into our JQuest program, and it really took hold, and people really made a connection to it. It wasn't really originally a gospel spiritual. It was a melody written by Ricky Scraggs, among many others, and comes from about the 1980s. So it's a relatively modern tune, but it strikes as something much older. Now, when it was brought in, we thought, oh, this must be a Jewish song, right? A Jewish context. Not so much. It's actually a quotation from 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 16 through 17. And I was thinking about this and how music, and Stephen, you know this very well, can transcend boundaries, lines of demarcation, can actually be a source of bringing people together once everybody opens themselves up just a little bit. And this particular melody, this particular song, the quotation is, O Lord, prepare me to be your sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. In thanksgiving, I'll be your living sanctuary for you. Now, if you didn't know it was from 1 Corinthians, you would say, this is great. This is absolutely connected to our tradition. When we read in Exodus, V'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham, and they shall make for me a sanctuary that I might dwell among them. This is the beginning of the instructions that God gives to Moses to then in turn give to the children of Israel in building the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the portable sanctuary that the Israelites were to use to create community, to create connection, and to bring them closer to this God that they were slowly starting to realize and understand and experience in their own lives. That the physical sanctuary that they were to build, this tabernacle, was not to be a house for God, but was really meant to be a symbol of God's indwelling presence within the community. And so, as with all things, there were additions that were made to this particular verse from Corinthians. First was the addition of something that is words that are very familiar to us from the book of Psalms. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart always be acceptable to you. And then, additionally, the verse that I just quoted from Exodus, V'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham. Make them for me a sanctuary that I might dwell among them. And then, with the addition of another verse from Psalm, V'anachnu nivarech ya me'ata v'ad olam. And we will bless you, O God, from now and for all time. Bringing together these ideas of the hope that what we do, what we think about, what we meditate upon, that will always be acceptable to God. And in this way, connecting us with this notion of how it is that we can make for ourselves or make of ourselves a sanctuary, that God might dwell among us and give us then the opportunity to bless God and to bless one another from this time and always. Now, the true test of a musician is, at the last moment, can you ask them to play something, and they say, well, yes, of course I can do that. So I asked Stephen, through Rabbi Heaps, if he might be able to bring this forward. This connection of these verses from the book of Psalms, from 1 Corinthians, from the book of Exodus, and again from the book of Psalms, was put together by a dear friend of mine, Rabbi David Ingbar, who was a classmate of mine in the fellowship that I did with the Hartman Institute. He leads Congregation Romamu in New York, and he put all of this together. And that was the first time that I heard all three of these elements placed together as one. And so you have the words up here, and I would invite you, if you feel so moved, to join together with us. I also have the words right here, just in case.
And it's very full circle because Rabbi David Ingber is part of our core educator faculty at Song Leader Boot Camp. So it's just very, all, yeah.
He's a very wonderful, wonderful human. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, there's 0 degrees of separation in the Jewish community.
Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, hi, hi. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Yah, my rock and my redeemer. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving I'll be your living sanctuary for you. Vasuli, Vasuli, Mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham va'anachnu nevarech Yah Me'ata ve'ad olam. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be your living sanctuary for you.
The connection between building that physical sanctuary and making ourselves a sanctuary comes through in the juxtaposition of the end of the first set of instructions for the building of the tabernacle, and then immediately the words of Vishamru, the words that remind us that we have this opportunity, this responsibility, indeed this obligation to create a sanctuary in time as well as in space. That Shabbat, as Abraham Joshua Heschel so beautifully stated and wrote about, that we are commanded to create these sanctuaries of time, these opportunities for us to not only to rest and to become re-ensouled, to become refreshed, but to become energized, to take that energy, that sense of the sacred, and put it into action in our lives. That we make ourselves a sanctuary when we bring ourselves into the world with the fullness of who we are. And how much we need to do that today when everything seems so wildly out of control. Everything seems so wildly out of control. What can we possibly do? We can bring our true selves, our whole selves, into our world, to our families, to our community, to make the difference that we can in the space that we occupy, and to be confident that when we do this, there is a ripple effect, that we can have a positive impact upon one another. And while it may not be immediately apparent, it is indeed transformative. When we can bring a sense of compassion, of kindness, when we can bring that through not just in words, but in the way that we act, we are participating in constructing that sanctuary and making ourselves a sanctuary. Each of us has this opportunity, this responsibility, this obligation to do everything that we can to really truly make ourselves that sanctuary, that sense of the sacred, that sacred space that we then bring forward. We bring holiness into the world, and we cannot underestimate, we can never underestimate the power that is inherent in that sacredness that we bring forward. The kind word, the kind act, desperately needed, and it does make a difference. We don't always know when that happens. And when we are fortunate enough, somebody might tap us on the shoulder and say, you know, 5 years ago, when you said this to me, when you offered your hand to me, when you gave me that hug that was so unexpected, it turned me around. It made my day better, it made my week better, it made my life better. When we show up for one another, when we are present, we bring that holiness, we bring ourselves as a sanctuary into the world. O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary. O Lord, prepare all of us to be a sanctuary.
Oh Lord, prepare me to be your sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true.
thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will. May this be our will. Amen. Aleinu l'shabeach. It is upon us to give praise to God. Page 282. We invite you to rise as you are able.
לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גאולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. For those participating in our digital sanctuary, we invite you to share the names of those loved ones that you are thinking of in this moment. And for those present in our physical space, if it is your custom to do so, I invite you to rise as I share the name of your loved one. This week we remember the recent passings of Earl Abramson, Charlotte Boyer, Bill Brown, and Leslie Les Mitnick. And just this past week, Stanley Weiss, husband of Fern, father of Sharon and Lisa, grandfather of Sam, Maddie, Hannah, and Caroline. We also call into our hearts the countless civilians caught in the crossfire of war, terror, and violence. And the following is the yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose death occurred this past week. Maurice Adams, Charles Adler, Pauline Andriazzi, Albert Bailey, Robert Baldwin, Muriel Baum, Leonard Blinderman, Marvin Breskin, Ruth Brodsky, Anna Carl, Sylvia Cohen, Jane Crown, Audrey Dan, Hannah Drell, Nicole Nikki Eisenberg, Carol Flomenhoft, Gary Friedman, Irma Goldberg, Joseph Goldberg, Robert Goldberg, Sherman Goldberg, Hyman Gordon, Clara Goroff, Maurice Gottlieb, George Gunther, Alan Hirschfield, Vivian Kaplan, Arthur Kaplan, Harriet Colden, Leonie Coet, Joseph Krieger, Alan Lewinter, Jean Lipschultz, Eduardo Machado, Bernice Margolis, Sadie Metzger, Samuel New, Joel Orloff, Bern Pearl, Edith Phillips, Regina Schneider, Barbara Sharp, Elaine Silverman, Phyllis Stutman, Samuel Tenenbaum, Theodore Van Gelder, Betty Ann Waxman, Bernard Weinfuss, and Judy Williamson. Are there other names that we are remembering in this moment? Zichronam livracha. May the memory of the righteous always be for a blessing. As one family, we turn to page 294, rising as we are able for Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Bi'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach leolam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmeid kudsha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And together we say, Amen. Please be seated. Brian, yeah.
Hello, my name is Brian Rubin, and I'm proud to serve on the Executive Committee and the Board of Directors of Temple Jeremiah. On behalf of the congregation, we welcome our prospective members, guests, and visitors. Thank you for sharing this acoustic Shabbat worship with us. I want to thank Stephen Chapman for making this so special. When I first was thinking about this week, I didn't really know what an acoustic Shabbat really was. I don't think I've ever attended. And I said to myself, I'm doing announcements tonight, and so does that mean I need to coordinate with Stephen and do this via song? And I said to myself, if Rabbi was going to start, not end, his sermon, I was going to be prepared to sing. But he didn't, so I'm just going to read off my notes. Our condolences go out to those who in our community have experienced a loss. I'd like to congratulate all of our March birthdays, and Rob, again, on your special birthday, I won't ask you to come up for the third time. I'd like to congratulate Ethan and Mila Goldman for celebrating their B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow, and I'd like to say Mazel Tov to Rabbi Cohen for completing his M2 Wellness Research Fellowship. So on March 18th at 11 a.m., the fellows will share how the values of Jewish peoplehood and well-being can inform our teaching and learning. Encourage everyone to attend. There's always a lot going on at Temple Jeremiah, so encourage you to read the Thursday emails as well as peruse the Temple website. A few announcements I'd like to highlight. On Sunday, March 3rd at 9:30, the Jeremiah Parents Coffee Connection, helping your child find focus during unpredictable times. On Sunday, March 10th at 11:30 is our Inclusion Purim celebration. And on Sunday, March 17th, in collaboration with Walt Disney Productions Pixel Entertainment, is Disney Purim. 9 a.m. starts the Shushan Shuffle, which is our 21st 5K. We added an option. It's a run, walk, or Uber like myself. And all the benefits go to Shelva. At 10:30 a.m. is our Purim Spiel and costume contest. All ages are encouraged to attend and participate. At 11 a.m. is our Purim Carnival, and your participation supports our youth. On Wednesday, March 20th at 7 p.m. is the Musar of Purim with our very own Rabbi Cohen, talking about the lessons discerning the Midot, which is spiritual attributes, according to Google. Highlighted within the Purim story and celebration. So it dates back to the 1800s. And lastly, on Saturday, March 23rd at 6 p.m., the Jeremiah Greatest Hits Adult Porn Party, 21 and over, and we will be carding, is officially back. Live band, karaoke, food, drink, and our own very own Kenner Sussman. So again, want to welcome everyone, especially our guests and our prospective members, and Shabbat Shalom.
Remember to tip your waitstaff. Brian will be here all week. We are going to bring our worship to a close with the continuation of the verses from All Together. Please rise as you are able and remain standing for our closing blessing.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you for having me in this the sanctuary, or the place that the community that you all have created, in which clearly the Spirit of God is here and well here. So thank you for letting me experience it with you all.
We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine Mato. Behold how good and pleasant it is that we are here, hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, keeping close all we hold dear. We are brothers, we are sisters, we are all that we've got. Hine matovu manai, shevet achim gam yachad. We are all together, we are all together, we are all together. Hine mato. Behold how good and pleasant it is when we seek peace, when we open up our tables so all the world can take a seat. We are stronger when united, one people under one God. Hine matovu manai, shevet achim gam yachad. We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine mato. Behold the might and wonder when people act as one, when we all share in one vision. All we say can all be done. So we keep on getting better. The more we sit together, we form an unbreakable, beautiful bond. Hine matovu manai, shevet achim yachad. We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine mato. We are all together. We are all together. We are all together. Hine mato.
Bruchim ayinu bevoenu, bruchim niyeh b'tzeitenu. Blessed are we as we gather together to welcome Shabbat. Blessed may we be from this time and always. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
you
shalom.
so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we were first together in Kabbalat
Yeah.
in 2002.
Yes. Very good. I mean, Mari, you can place the
Yeah,
age. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I think this is where we came for the Hebrew test.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I was proctoring it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Yeah.